Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. Andrew O'Toole with you again, and today we'll be having a look at this coming Saturday's meeting here in Darwin, which will be the 19th of October. With major racing interstate on Saturday, featuring the Caulfield Cup and of course the Everest, spring really gets into full swing, and it's always a good day to come out and have a bet on the locals, as well as on your fancies in the majors in Victoria and New South Wales. Like our last meeting here a fortnight ago, an excellent 5-race card has been assembled with some 47 acceptors down to do battle. The first race gets underway at a tick after 2 o'clock Northern Territory time, and in the opener, the zip print handicap for the 0 to 64 gallopers over the 1300 metres. My numbers are 4, 6, 7 and 2. I'm going here with number 4, Evil Dreams, to possibly have a fitness edge on a number of his rivals. Trained, of course, by Kerry Petrick and Paul Denton in the saddle. His last start here was on the 5th of October, so that's only about 3 weeks ago. And he finished third on that occasion behind Perpetual Bliss. He's also had another couple of runs prior to that since the carnival, unlike a couple of his better credentialed rivals here. So I'm going with number 4 on top, Evil Dreams. To beat number 6, Twilight Manoeuvre, was really impressed with the way this horse won for Chris Pollard and Barry Huppert's last time out. That was on the 14th of September, beating Restless on that occasion, and Restless has won again since. So the form's really been franked, and I think Twilight Manoeuvre one of the hardest to beat. In for third, number 7, Let's Celebrate, Gary Clark and Brendan Davis, the combo. Of course, this mare won the Rose Bowl during the carnival here over this trip of 1300 metres. Good run last time over 1100. That was behind McIntyre, and I think the extra trip should suit the mare. And in for fourth, the number 2, one of those horses that I'm talking about earlier that's coming off a break, and that is Rocherville, Felicia Bergstrand for Carl Spry. 4, 6, 7 and 2 in the day's opener. The second's the Cancer Council NT Handicap. It's over the 1200 metres and it's for the 0 to 70 gallopers, and it's our highest rated race of the day. Numbers here 1, 2, 5 and 7. Number 1, Alisac, we had as our best bet last meeting and raced well but finished second on that occasion behind Perpetual Bliss. I'm prepared to allow it another chance to break through for a well-deserved win. Ray Viger aboard for Gary LaFoe Jr. I have it on top. Number 1, Alisac. To beat number 2, Tuscarora from the Inform Jason Manning stable, and Vanessa Rana in the saddle as normal. Another last start winner is Tuscarora, won on the 14th of September here, beating Evil Dreams. So obviously we'll see how Evil Dreams goes in the first, and that could be a pointer to Tuscarora's chances in the second. In for third, number 5, and that is McIntyre, another last start winner, won here over 1100 metres on the 21st of September. Paul Shires for Gary LaFoe Jr. Gary's having a good run with his team. Even won a race in Alice Springs last Saturday with Moot. And my 4th selection, number 7, Patria, getting close to a win. 1, 2, 5 and 7 in the second. The third's the Hot 100 handicap. It's over the 1100 metres for the benchmark 54 gallopers. Numbers here 2, 1, 4 and 5. A 7-runner race here, just missed out on the each-way betting here. But I'm going with number 2, Hatton Man, to prevail fresh. Hasn't raced since Catherine on the 17th of August, but does race well in a fresh state. Tayan Halter trains Raymond Viger in the saddle, and Hatton Man with a record of 3 wins, 2 seconds and 2/3 over the trip, must be one of the hardest to beat. 2 on top, Hatton Man, ahead of number 1, Good to Be Great. Jared Todd back from a well-deserved holiday, him and the family. Takes them out here for Phil Cole. Good to Be Great has had a handful of starts in Darwin now and getting close to a success. His last 3 starts have been behind Love Club, Rock Atomic and McIntyre, so putting it into run second. In for third, number 4, Ticket to Paris, another consistent galloper. This one trained by Angie Forster. Paul Denton aboard Ticket to Paris, raced well during the carnival, finished second in the Rose Bowl, and its last start here was a 5th behind Restless, not beaten far. That was 1200 metres. The 1100 probably suits just as well. In for 4th, number 5, Fire and Vice, Vanessa Arnott for Jason Manning. 2, 1, 4 and 5 in our third event. The 4th's the Area 9 Trobus handicap for the Class 2 gallopers, and this over the sprint trip of 1000 metres. Numbers here 3, 4, 1 and 5, another 7-horse field to go around here. Number 3 is a fresh runner, and the one I've got on top here, Awesome Mo, trained by Carl Spry, Felicia Bergstrand in the saddle. Carl's still off for that ankle injury, although I'm pleased to say he's got his foot out of the moon boot now, and hopefully he'll be back in action in a few weeks' time. Awesome Mo hasn't raced since the 6th of July. That was in the Guineas behind Poets Landing, but pretty capable 4-year-old now by Uncle Mo. and I think Osimo in a fresh state can get the 1,000 metres and get it well. 3 on top for me rather. Ahead of number 4, Fort Necessity from the stable of Chris Pollard. Barry Huppert's aboard. 2/4 his last two. He's getting very close to a dividend-bearing place. Fort Necessity, I've got him in to run second. My third selection is one of the horses out of the Tried Horse Sale from this year in No Alibi. Cost 18,000 in the stable of Gary Clark. Brendan Davis aboard. A record of 2 wins, 3 seconds and a third from 22 starts. Hasn't won over the trip of 1,000 metres, but fresh up here. Hasn't raced for some months, so I give it a chance. My fourth selection, number 5, and that is World Force. 3, 4, 1 and 5 in our second last. And in the last, the Darwin Motor Group Handicap. It's over the 1,600 metres. A really good field assembled here, a capacity field in fact, for the 0 to 58 gallopers, and my numbers are 1, 3, 12 and 6. Number 1 here for me, Dubai's Got Talent. Vanessa Arnott and Jason Manning. They could be in for a pretty decent day, the combo. And Dubai's Got Talent, very impressive. Winning at this trip in this grade, last time out on the 14th of September, beating My Tradition easily on that occasion. 5.5 lengths was the winning margin. Carried 60 kilograms, rather 56.5 kilograms that day. So goes up 2.5 kg on Saturday. But I think Dubai's Got Talent, now with that win under the belt, can go on with the job. 1 on top. To beat number 3, Hindley Street, another impressive last start winner. Carl Spry trains. Wayne Davis continues his association with Hindley Street. That winning turn was on the 5th of October. That was 1,300 metres. Steps up to the mile. That's probably the only question mark. The horse hasn't won at this trip. It's had 3 starts for 1/3, but certainly was impressive last time over the 1,300. In for third, over the page we go to number 12, and that is Strategic Journey. Jared Todd for Phil Cole. Good run last time behind Hindley Street, although beaten 5 lengths, but the 1,600 metres should suit. And my fourth selection, number 6, Skaldak, another one that the 1,600 metre trip should be right up at Sally Pulshire's for Emma Steele. 1, 3, 12 and 6 in our last. A tricky day again, I found. Certainly tough here a fortnight ago with some double-figure dividends, and it doesn't look much easier this week. But my best bet of the day comes up in race 2, number 1, Alisac. Getting close to a win. I think we had it as our best bet a fortnight ago. Finished second on that occasion, so didn't let us down, but hopefully can go one better this week. While the best roughie in the first, number 1, Making the Grade. Race 1, number 1, Making the Grade. The $50 Garrard's Horse and Hound voucher for our last meeting here on the 5th of October goes to the ever-popular jockey Wayne Davis for his hat-trick courtesy of Perpetual Bliss, Hindley Street and, of course, Restless. You've never seen a happier jockey than WD when he came back aboard Restless after the hat-trick, and I think very well done to Wayne. He's certainly well deserving of the voucher. Enjoy spending that at Garrard's in Winnelli. In our next Top End Track Talk segment, trainers will be in line for the $50 voucher, and that of course applies to this Saturday's meeting here in Darwin on the 19th of October. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back again next week in advance of Cox Plate Race Day, one of the feature days here in Darwin, and of course that'll be the 26th of October. Until then, good luck and good punting.